But yeah, let's run through these late payments real quick because this is a hot topic. Everybody wants to learn how to get late payments removed. And this is just the guide, you guys. So I'm gonna show y'all some letters and everything in here. But all right, you want the full hands-on training, you gotta join the group. All right, moneymoves.group. It's open, it's only 17 bucks a month. Teach you guys how to do all this stuff. Let's go. I got 400K in a bank account with 400 credit score. Nice. Nice, nice. Depending on where you live at, California, 400K is like $40. No, that's a little much. That's a little much. But yeah, depending on where you live at, man, that 400K ain't gonna stretch that much, that far, man. It's crazy. But yeah, that's good. Keep it up. But at a 400K, you still need your credit to get approved. You still need your credit to get houses and all that stuff. So I'm not sure why you posted that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 400K. That's nice. Yeah, we move a little different out here in California, man. He said, I got a question. Drop your question in the chat, man. Let's go. What about late payments is closed? If the late payment is closed, all right, if the account is closed, we're not disputing the late payment on a closed account. We're disputing the whole account when it comes, if your late payment's on an account that's closed, dispute the whole account. It's a lot easier because it's a lot easier to find inaccuracies on that closed account, all right, than getting that late payment removed or updated, all right? All right, next, we're going to highlight all the lates, all right? We're talking about late payments on open accounts, all right? Late payments on open accounts. We're not talking about late payments on closed accounts because we would treat that like a closed account or a charge off. We would find the inaccuracy and go a different route. These are for late payments on open account. All right. Next, right, we want to highlight all late payments. Focus on open accounts. There's two different routes to go when we're dealing with late. All right. When you look at that account, all right, we're looking for inaccuracies, wrong late date reporting. Let's say you were late in June, but it's reporting you were late in July or August or something. That's inaccurate. All right. You weren't actually 30 days late. Let's say you made a payment on the 29th day, something like that, right? That's not late. Okay. So we need to stay on you need to stay on these accounts, looking at our statements and all the internal notifications that we get to. All right. Reporting inconsistencies. All right. But the biggest one, I don't know why it's not on here. The biggest one, I don't know why it's not on there, is let's say you were 3 months late, right, in a row. But on your report, it says 30, 30, 30 instead of 30, 60, 90, right? That's an inaccuracy that you can use too. We're talking about late payments on open accounts. No, I'm not going back. All right. So if you got here, welcome. All right. It's an open Q&A, but we're going over these late payments real quick. So that's the stuff we're looking for on late payments on open accounts. Now, if there's nothing wrong with the account, it's reporting on the right day. You were actually 30 days late. It's consistent across all credit reporting agencies. When you look on your credit report, you were 3 months late and it says 30, 60, 90. Like everything's 100% accurate. Then we have to Goodwill them to death. All right. But I have all that stuff on here too. All right. Let's go. You can also opt out of these. It does help. Right, LexisNexis, SageString, Clarity Services, ARS, Credit Code, Teletrack, Check Systems, Early Warnings. Check System and Early Warnings, the process is a little bit different, but you can call to do that. You can go online. You can type in Early Warnings, EWS, opt out, right? You can follow the steps. It's not that difficult. Same thing for Lexis. Same thing for all these secondary. What does Goodwill them to death? That we're going to go over it. All right, so you can opt out of those. All right, so let's say you look at your credit report and there's nothing wrong with anything. All right, before we actually hit them with, US 15 US code 66B, timing of payments and all that stuff. All right, if there's nothing wrong with the open account, you guys, there's only so many things we can do. All right. Goodwill letters still do work. You guys just don't do it enough. I called over 50 times for one Chase. All right, for one Chase account. All right. Y'all send one Goodwill letter and quit. They say they can't update it. Nothing works really the first time. I'm gonna let y'all know when you're dealing with this credit stuff, nothing really works the first time. All right. So they want you to stop. As a consumer, they want you to stop. All right. That's what they want. So yeah, y'all can screenshot this stuff right here. This is just a quick little standard one. They can get a lot more intricate, a lot more detailed, but I just want to give you guys like the process and kind of what the structure and what the letter will look like. All right. So yeah, Goodwill letter 1, just a standard and polite. We're not saying we were never late. We're asking for an adjustment, right? We're asking them to tap into their humanity. All right. Help us out. We've been with y'all for years. This is my first late payment in 6 years, right? Job loss, whatever it is, right? I got all this stuff right here for you. All right. But this is just a simple one. All right. Again, this isn't the exact letter that we use, but you guys can take this, put your own spin on it and all that good stuff, right? I've been a customer with your bank, let's say Capital One. I've been a customer at Capital One since 2015, right? I truly value the relationship I built with your institution. Unfortunately, due to, list of circumstance, job loss, medical code, whatever it is, right? You're going to put it in there, okay? I had a late payment on this date. You insert the date. This does not reflect my normal payment history, and I respectfully request that you remove this late payment as a one-time Goodwill adjustment. Thank you for understanding and the consideration. Now, You can also call first, send this, then call. There's so many different avenues you can do. But you have to do something when it comes to late payments on open accounts, especially if you're doing this stuff yourself. All right. All right. Let me go down to the next one. And again, you guys can put your own spin and twist and stuff on these letters. This is just some basic ones that I just typed up real quick. Okay. So the first one was was a pretty basic one. This one, all right, more emotional impact. So, right, creditor name. I'm writing this with a heavy heart regarding the late payment reported on my account. Insert the account number and the date. All right, this single late payment has severely impacted my life in ways I never imagined. Since this reporting, I have been denied credit cards, loans, even housing. The stress and anxiety from this situation has affected my health. I can't sleep at night. I find it difficult to eat and constantly worry about my financial future, which is 100% true. Okay. This late mark does not reflect who I am as a customer. It was a one-time mistake during an incredibly difficult time in my life. All right. I'm pleading with you, please, to show compassion and remove this late payment as a goodwill gesture. One mistake should not define my entire financial future. Okay. Please consider this request. Your help could truly change my life. Now, you can attach the other letter that you sent, the first Goodwill letter. You can attach the credit report and everything, highlighting it, sending all this stuff certified mail. Certified mail does help a little bit when it comes to these type of letters with the late payments. I use credit monitoring services and none were correct when I obtained my credit reports and score. Yeah, I'm not sure which ones you're talking about, but my FICO and my Score IQ IQ, they're licensed to give you guys actual FICO scores. So those have to be accurate. All right. So yeah. All right. Can you do it if you have 30, 60, 90? Yeah, you can do it 30, 60, 90 also. All right. But I will say, make sure, appreciate the follow. Make sure that your account is current. Okay. Make sure your account is current. Do not attempt any of this stuff if your shit's still late. Okay. Do not attempt any of this if your account is still past due. It's nothing. None of this shit's going to work. You're wasting time. All right. Get your shit current first. Okay. Maybe current, maybe showing a couple payments. But yeah, I had somebody reach out. Hey, they didn't update my account like you said, blah, blah, blah. Let me see your credit report. They were still 120 days late. Of course they're not going to, man, stop playing. Of course they're not going to update your shit. You still late. You asking them for a good gesture and your shit's still late. Stop playing with these people. Stop playing in their face. All right, so that's 2. Let's go down to 3. And this is just a guide, you guys. I got a whole bunch more stuff in the group. Moneymoves.group. You can go in there. It's just my school community. Newer group. Previous group had about 500 people in there, but we had to create a new one to start getting a little spammy and a little weird because I didn't really know how to work school and stuff like that. I didn't know you had to. I just created the group just to get people in there and get people right. But yeah, there's some things that you have to do in school to eliminate the spammers and scammers and stuff. So all right, let's go. Goodwill letter 3. Okay. My name is John Doe. All right. I've been a loyal customer of Capital One since 2015. I'm reaching out directly to your office because of the significant impact of my late payment reported on May 2025, right? Has had on my life. All right. This late mark is preventing me from purchasing a home, advancing in career, and building a stable financial future. It was a one-time error caused by COVID-19, right? Lost my job, whatever it is. Put anything right there. But the COVID stuff still does work. All right. It does not reflect my commitment as a customer. All right. I kindly ask for your assistance in removing this late payment as a goodwill adjustment. Your decision could help restore my financial stability and allow me to move forward in life. Okay. Thank you for your time and understanding. All right. How do you find the CEO's information to even send this? Boom. Right there. Would you look at that? Many ways to do this. The LinkedIn play, right? The LinkedIn one has been working a lot better, but I got some other stuff right here. Hunter.io, rocketreach.co. Those are other companies that scrape the internet and they find email addresses, especially when it comes to corporate email addresses and business email addresses and all that. So yeah, that's just the Goodwill stuff right there. Now, when it comes to the disputing process, this is just some standard stuff. You guys, like I said, everything I'm showing you right now was just pretty basic stuff. Now you can get a lot more these letters can get 100 times more detailed. I'm just showing y'all, different ways to attack late payments on open accounts. Okay, these aren't the exact letters that you can use. These aren't the exact letters that I use, but I just want to put something on the board so y'all can get a visual, of how to actually do this. All right, that makes sense? All right, let's go. If Goodwill efforts fail, we move into disputes. All right, and these aren't even the disputes that show like actual inaccuracies. These are just playing on the different codes. If you're late for different periods, can still do Goodwill for those. Yes, 100%. Again, and you want to send this, the Goodwill for the creditor. right? Goodwill adjustments go to the creditor, okay? These ones, these are going to the actual credit reporting agencies, or call them credit bureaus. I don't really care what you call them, but they're called credit reporting agencies because they report shit. All right, keep it simple. I'm disputing this late payment reporting on the account. According to my records, I was not 30 days late. Reporting otherwise inaccurate, under 15 U.S. Code 1681 S-2. Furnishers must ensure maximum accuracy. You guys, I just typed this up real quick. This is very basic, general. We can put some more sauce on it. Again, I'm just giving y'all something to use. You can take it. You can send this how it is, or you can put your little extra sauce on it. All right. I request immediate deletion or correction of this late payment. All right. Depending on how they remove it, great. If not, okay, once we update our credit report, 30 days later, appreciate the follow. Then we're going on the wrong payment timing. All right. Now, I do want to give a disclaimer. There is more to this, okay? There's A, B, C. Like, there is more to these, all right? We're just using the basic stuff. I just want to keep iterating that because, there's going to be people that clip this up or screenshot and say, oh, he said just do this, right? Without tuning in or listening to what the fuck I'm actually saying. Happens all day, every day. So that's why I have to keep reiterating, reiterating everything, all right? You have reported me late on, what would I say, May 2025. But this is factually incorrect. My payment was made within the required grace period. So this one really, really, really helps. Remember, I talked about this right here. Right here, look at the second one, right? Not actually 30 days late, okay? Your account has to be at least 30 days, all right? Has to be at least 30 days late for them to report it. Sometimes, all right, this is how they get some people right here. All right, we just helped somebody out with this. Let's say you're 28 days late. You make your payment on the 29th day, but that's like a Saturday or something. The 30th is a Sunday. Then the 1st is a Monday and it's a holiday, right? So it's not going to report that payment till like the 2nd, right? You made the payment. You got proof that you made it, but they still marked it late, right? As long as we have proof of that payment on the day that you made it, we can use that to go back and get that late payment removed, okay? Hope that makes sense? It should make sense. All right, let's go back down here. We reported me as late on this date, but this is factually incorrect. My payment was made within the required grace period. Reporting it as late violates 15 U.S. Code 66. B, regarding the timing of payments, please correct this inaccuracy within 15 days or remove it entirely. All right. Depending on how that goes, we got some more for them. All right. Now, I'm going to keep it 100. If we've called them 10, 15 times, we've sent 2 or 3 Goodwill letters, we've sent, all this extra stuff. This is kind of the weakest one. All right. But it has worked in the past, so I'll put it on here. All right, I'm just keeping it 100. You have violated my rights under 15 U.S. Code 6802 by reporting this late payment without offering me the right to opt out of disclosure. This is illegal furnishing of information. So when people say late payments are illegal, they're not illegal, right? But this is what they're trying to go off of. There's more to this, okay? People don't read, they don't really read the FCRA. So, but I just want to put that disclaimer out there. So, but you can use it, you can attempt it. The other stuff that we've done is a lot stronger. This is kind of just like a Hail Mary. All right. 15 days to correct this error, or I will file a complaint with the CFPB and consider legal action. Okay. Now, we've done the Goodwills. We've sent all our letters. We've done everything in our power, right? Now we're escalating it. We're taking all the Goodwill stuff. If you have documentation of when you actually called the creditors or called the credit reporting agencies, we're taking all that stuff. We're doing our CFPB complaint. To do a complaint, you literally go to cfpb.gov. On the top right, click submit complaint. You do your stuff, and I would actually create an account with them too. It's super quick. It's easy. All right. We're going to, in that complaint, okay? Actually, I can give you, but yeah, we're going to do our CFPB complaint. We're going to attach all the documents that we've sent to them, right? That we sent to creditors, credit reporting agencies, whoever we sent documents to, all these letters, we're going to upload them all to that complaint, okay? And we're sending all that stuff in. Now, the legal path, this is you can only sue if you actually weren't 30 days late and they reporting a late payment, you have proof, that type of stuff, and they don't want to update it. That type of stuff you can sue for. Yeah, like if it was a billing error on their end, right? Like stuff like that. You can sue for that if they don't want to update the accounts and all that. So there is a legal path you can take, but that's more for this is just the guide, you guys. That's more for the group members. But legal path with late payments on open accounts, it's not that common, okay? You ain't just gonna be suing Capital One just to do it. right? Especially with a late payment on the open account, right? So yeah, all this stuff right here, this whole guide is in the group, moneymoves.group. Go in there and go crazy. You guys can go check all that stuff out. Yeah. Can you give me a quick ABC step? That's what we're doing right now. That's literally what this is right here. All right. Do you know Smitty the Goat? I've heard of Smitty the Goat before. Yeah, yeah. I'm not associated with them or anything like that. Anybody that's helping people out, I think Smitty does a good job, right? His marketing is on point. He does his information, from what I heard is pretty decent. So yeah, I don't know. You'll never hear me hating on nobody, okay? Especially somebody I don't know, but from what I see, he's helping people out doing God's work. So let's go. Do you do business funding? Of course. Yeah, we help with business funding, business credit. Yeah, when people say funding, most likely it's business credit. We do have, I'm partnered with other people that can get you actual business loans and that type of stuff, but those requirements are a lot more extensive. Okay, but business credit is super easy. You got your personal credit right, LLC or your C corp, whatever entity that you have. If that's all good to go, man, it's very easy to get business credit, you guys. It's very easy to get business credit. But the thing is, people try to skip steps or they try to. All right, let's go. Yeah, so this is I show the requirements, right? I want people to come in ready to go, but I show the requirements for business credit, and this is kind of across the board. Don't think this is only for us or whatever it is. Like this is kind of across the board. If you don't have this, you're pretty much not getting approved for business credit anywhere. All right, so we want you to have a 720 plus, a 720 FICO 8 plus. You can go as low as a 680, of course, but you probably instead of 200 or 250, you'll probably get 100 or 150 or something like that. All right, no negatives, collections, charge-offs, recent late payments, repos, bankruptcies, child support, evictions, all that stuff, man. That's why I emphasize personal credit so much, especially for business owners, because we got to get your personal credit right. All right, you're not going in with bad credit and getting fucking 150. It's not going to happen. Okay, it's not going to happen. So that's why I'm so adamant with the personal credit, especially with my business owners. No negatives. So if you have negatives, let's work on your report. A couple months later, now we back in biz. Okay, no lates within the last 2 years. So if you had a late payment in 2024, you might be able just like 130-day late. We probably can still work with you. But if you had 10 late payments, that's not gonna work. All right, under 25% overall utilization. Okay, at least 3 of your own personal credit cards. So if you got 10 authorized users and none of your own cards, it's not gonna work. You need your own personal credit cards. All right, and at least 15K of total personal credit limits. We can use authorized users for the 15K. So you can have 1,000, 2,000, and another 2,000. So you got 5K on your personal cards, and then you got a 10K or 20K authorized user. You should be able to get a little something with that too. All right. On average, they're getting 50 to 150. This is kind of older, so probably like 200. If you don't meet these requirements, please don't waste your time applying. Don't waste your time applying online. You're just gonna get increase for no reason. Okay. We can start working on your file immediately. All right. So that's what we do, man. That's literally what we do. All right. Let's go. Do you teach people how to set up the business structure? Yeah. That's really easy, man. I got the LLC quick start guide I think it's in my link tree. That's free. Y'all can go run that up. Structuring your business is easy. All right. People try to overcomplicate it, make it more difficult than it really is. That shit's easy as hell. All right. I have 4 credit cards and a few store cards. What else can I add to my profile? If you don't have any installment accounts, no loans or anything like that, go get like a Kovo, something easy, something quick, just to get an installment account on the board. And then pay them credit cards down, try to get credit limit increases. Maybe you can add an authorized user or 2, and you're good to go. And that's all in the mentorship and the platinum one, of course. Yep. All that is, bro. With DUNS and all that. Yeah, that's like I said, it's easy, bro. Here's another thing though, right? The bank, like Chase, when you go get a business credit card, Citibank, US Bank, they don't give a damn about your DUNS number. They don't care about your paydex score. All right, so that has been like overhyped. All right, that has been overhyped. Let's go. They don't care about your DUNS. Never in my life, all right, did Chase go, hey, bro, your personal credit ain't that good, but you got a good paydex score, so we're gonna give you 100,000. No, never. It's not gonna happen. All right, they're basing this off your personal credit and if your entity is structured correctly. That's really it. All right, if you got some income, that's great. You got some revenue, that's great. Right? You got some years on your LLC or your C corp, whatever it is, that's great. But they're basing it off your personal credit. All right, that's what they're mainly basing all this stuff off of. So that's why we got to get that going, get that intact. What is Kovo? Ladybugs, DM me the word Kovo with a K, Kovo. Shoot me a DM. I'll send you the link. Kovo is just an easy starter account or credit builder that you can get. You can add it with no hard increase, just to put an installment account on your profile. Something easy for different states. Yeah, if you're going different states, you're gonna go foreign entity and do it that route. Yeah, I'll help you with all that stuff, bro. Because you got to be PG at first. No, not at first. Bro, it's not even at first, bro. I still have to PG. We we 6, 7 years in. Okay, it depends on the industry too, but you guys, they're gonna ask for a PG until like, all right, if you making a meal a month, then yeah, you can probably get away with it after a while. They won't ask for no PG and stuff like that. But in the beginning, come on, man. The first year, first 3 years, you gotta provide those tax. If we're talking about business loans, you're gonna have to provide tax return for the last 3 years. Personal credit got to be lit. Income revenue got to be jumping. You guys, that's what I'm saying, man. So it's much easier to get 0% business credit cards, especially in the beginning, because it's just all based off your personal credit. Don't run from it. Don't run from it. I'm not talking about no credit sweeps, no FTC reports, none of that nonsense. Get your shit done the right way, correctly, so you accounts aren't getting reasserted and all that extra shit. You don't want to do that. All right. How much is it? I think it's what Kobo's like $10 a month or something. Yeah, yeah, super cheap. Right. You're just paying that little small investment just to get that installment account to report onto your credit. Easy work. Yeah, $10 a month. Yeah, some light. You won't even know that's missing. All right. All right. So this was some good work. Went over late payments.